In 1961, the Cold War is nearing a boiling point.
It's a tense time in world affairs. Tense time in the Cold War. The Soviets had shot down a U-2 plane. There's Berlin, which has been long a source of tension, and it's continuing to be one.
And the youngest president ever elected in U.S. history enters office.
President Kennedy was elected and gave an amazing inaugural address in 1961.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
And that really resonated with a great many of us.
I think he sees this Peace Corps notion showing American generosity, but in the process also helping to win, or at least wage, this Cold War.
Throughout his presidential campaign, John F. Kennedy promoted the idea of an army of volunteers to serve around the world, not for war, but for peace.
This is an opportunity, according to JFK, to counter anti-Americanism around the world, counter the spread of communism around the world. And he said to people, look, the Soviets have engineers and scientists, they have teachers promoting the cause of world communism. We need to do something similar.
I therefore propose that our inadequate efforts in this area be supplemented by a Peace Corps of talented young men and women willing and able to serve their country in this fashion for 3 years as an alternative or as a supplement to peacetime selective service. Well qualified.
The response to President Kennedy's Peace Corps program was strong, with applications pouring in.
On March 1st, President Kennedy, by executive order, created the Peace Corps, a body of trained personnel, teachers, technicians, scientists, available to work in other countries.
Interest in President Kennedy's proposed Peace Corps continues to rise among American youth.
As soon as I got the opportunity, I applied and it was accepted and was thrilled.
There was something about Peace Corps and the idea of serving peace and friendship as the primary mission of the agency that lit a spark in young people throughout the U.S. in 1960-61.
I can't emphasize how exciting that was, the idea that we would have this opportunity to do something for our country. And, you know, none of us knew how hard it would be. It was hard, but we were filled with inspiration, really, I think, with the young president and this vision. We were about 6 hours by bus from Manila, and we were stationed in a little barrio that was all fishing. And, you know, these were little nipa huts on bamboo and nipa thatch. Our job, we were assigned to co-teach with teachers in 2 different barrio schools. Peace Corps absolutely changed the direction of my life. I think any volunteer, probably from any decade, would tell you unquestionably what we took away in terms of how we viewed the world was so much more, so much more.
But in November 1963, just a few years after the program was announced, tragedy struck.
We were home for the afternoon. We heard our lavandera call up to us, Pasing, Elaine, and she said, the communists have killed your president. And we said, what? And she said, the communists have killed your president. Your president is dead. And it occurred to both of us that maybe the program would be over. Kennedy was gone.
After the assassination of President Kennedy, the Peace Corps not only survived, it thrived, expanding its service to countries all over the world through the decades and far beyond the Cold War.
Certainly, you see not only an ability to survive the Cold War for the Peace Corps, but in fact, it does better than it's done in the 70s and 80s with the end of the superpower conflict. And that suggests to me that those volunteers in the 1990s, in the 2000s, and over the last decade were inspired by something other than obviously a superpower confrontation that no longer exists. They want to be part of something big.
I served as a Peace Corps volunteer after 18 years as a faculty member at the University of Texas. I chose to serve 2009 to 2011 in Cambodia. It changed the trajectory of my career. The returned Peace Corps volunteers will tell you that what they received from the people in their host country communities was so much more than what they gave.
I applied halfway through my senior year of college, and it was receiving that email of acceptance. There was no question in my mind that I wanted to do this. I taught grades 7 to 12. I taught English at a secondary school. These classrooms were anywhere from 30 to 55 kids. It was very challenging, but it was also very rewarding.
But for Ben and the rest of the Peace Corps, the year 2020 would be unlike any other.
Every day we were getting multiple emails related to COVID. And then we did get that email saying we would be evacuated.
For the first time in its history, every single volunteer in every country around the globe was called back home.
I would constantly be asked by my host mom, my host sisters, are you coming back? When are you coming back? And I just had to say, I don't know.
With the world still on pause, the Peace Corps is determined to send volunteers back into the field once it's safe.
We have over 2,000 applications in the pipeline who have been invited to serve. They've made it through. And we have even more that continue to come in every day. So while we will not be going back immediately with 7,000 strong, we are confident that we remain of interest.
And as it turns 60 years old this week, the legacy of the Peace Corps still lives on.
Our relevance, I believe, will be as strong as our ability to stay focused on our goals and to stay focused on the importance of representing the diversity of people, perspectives, and dreams that are in our country.
There's a line that Kennedy utters in his last State of the Union address, in which he says that nothing carries the spirit of American idealism and expresses our hopes better and more effectively to the far corners of the world than the Peace Corps. This was something that he was proud of, that he believed had worked in all the ways that he wanted it to work.
I believe that President Kennedy would be exceedingly proud.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.